Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Selenium training. In various, or I would rather say in most of the applications, handling pop-up is a common issue. So in today's session, I will be discussing about how do we handle alert pop-up using Selenium. To make it more understandable, I would try to include a fair mix of examples and theory. So before commencing, let us have a quick look at the agenda for this session. So primarily I would be discussing what is an alert. Then we will be discussing web-based alerts, and we'll be handling them using Selenium RC and WebDriver. Then we'll have a quick look at the demo. After that, we would be discussing window-based alerts. Then we'll answer a question, why can't Selenium handle Windows-based alerts? And then we'll be seeing robot class, that is a Java-based utility to handle window-based alerts. And then we'll be looking at the demo. So now that we are good to go, let's discuss what is an alert. Is it a confirmation box or an authentication box? Maybe a prompt, a pop-up, or a window altogether. We may name it differently, but they all are one and the same thing. So coming onto the question again, it is nothing but a small box that appears on the display screen, or I can say GUI, to give you some kind of information or to warn you about the potentially damaging operation. It may ask you for permissions for the operation. Let's consider an example. These days, these social networking sites are very much into boom. So I went to one of them. I created my profile there. I uploaded my photograph. Now I just want to delete that photograph. So as soon as I click on this delete button, the system prompts me saying, do you really want to delete this file? So now I have two options. Either I can accept this alert or I can reject it. Meaning, I can either click on the OK button or I can click on the cancel button for deletion. So let's see how do we actually reject or accept these alerts, depending on their type obviously. So let's see how do we handle these web-based alerts using Selenium RC. So we can see here Selenium RC provides us three methods in order to handle alerts and prompt pop-ups. Prompt pop-ups are very much similar to alerts. The only difference is that they prompt you to enter some data or text inside the pop-up. Sometimes it may ask you for authentication details, or in case if you are downloading something, it might ask you for the address where you want to download the file. So they simply prompts you for some data, and on the validity of this particular data, subsequent actions will be performed. So now you can see there are three methods. So the first two methods are basically used to handle alerts, whereas the third method is being used to handle prompt pop-ups. Now the tricky part is this, that these methods must be called prior to the action that would fire the pop-up. Now let's take an example. Suppose if I click on a download button to download an installer, as soon as I click on this download button, it triggers an alert saying that, are you sure you don't want to download this installer? So handling this, what I would do is, it would be handled with these code snippets which are written here. So let's look at the first code snippet. Selenium OBJ is the Selenium instance. So in order to download the installer, we would first handle the alert by calling this method choose OK on next confirmation, and then we would click on the download button. This will handle the pop-up which would be generated after clicking the download button. Similarly, the code snippet has been given for cancelling the operation or prompt pop-ups. Now let us look at WebDriver. I mean, how do we handle these web-based alerts in WebDriver? It is fairly easy with WebDriver because it offers us with more efficient way to handle these pop-ups. There is an alert interface which we can use for the same. This alert interface actually provides us with these methods. A few of the methods have been listed here which are popularly being used. So the first method is dismiss. The second method is alert, accept. The third method is get text, and the fourth method is send keys. So the first method clicks on the cancel button of the pop-up. The second method clicks on the OK button of the pop-up. The third method returns the text which is displayed on the alert box. The fourth method enters some data into alert box, which is very much similar to prompt pop-up. Let's just have a look at the implementation. So before implementing it, I would also like to tell you the exact scenario which we would be automating. So I have created an HTML page for you here. So there we have a button named as try it. As soon as we click on this try it button, an alert pop-up appears. So either I can click on the OK button or I can click on the cancel button. So again, the same would be automated. Let's see in the Eclipse. I have already packaged and everything in the place. I have also created the code. So the basic structure has been created already here. So let's create. So first of all, I would be creating an instance for WebDriver interface. I can see there are a few errors. So these are normal errors, they are for importing files. Now I am instantiating this instance using Firefox driver. And then I will call get method on this Firefox driver. I'll copy my URL and put pass as a string in this get method. Now oops, I did a mistake. Let's take it in the setup and let's take the instance in the variable section. So now what we have to do is, first of all, we have to click on the try it button. So let me code it. So the statement would click on this particular button. Let me go and find out the locator value for this try it button. So I can see there is a text there. So let me just I'm just creating an XPath for try it button. So now we are good to create alert class instance, alert interface instance rather, and we would instantiate it. Now this instance would be handling our web-based alert. So now if we can see number of methods there, so I would use except. So now this would be handling my alert. So let's see the rest of the errors here. Oops. Okay. So now it's saved. Let's quit the driver, which would close my browser. So now let's execute this test. It was very quick. Let's apply some thread dot sleep. Okay. So now that we are done with this, let's move ahead with the presentation. Okay. So now coming on to the Windows-based alerts. Let us answer this question first. Why can't Selenium handle Windows-based alerts? See, Selenium is basically an automated testing tool which supports only web applications. That means it doesn't support Windows-based applications, and Window Alert is one of them. So handling these pop-ups have become a little tricky. However, Selenium alone can't help this situation, but along with some third-party tool or intervention, this problem can be overcome. So there are several tools available in the market for handling Windows pop-ups. To name a few, we have AutoIT, we have Securely, we have Robot class. So here I would be using Robot class for this session. So Robot class is basically, it's a Java-based utility which emulates the keyboard and mouse actions. So now let's go towards the demo itself. Before the demo, I would like to show you the flow, the scenario. So suppose if my application under test is something very much similar to Gmail, so I'll just sign in with the valid credentials. And then I'll click on the compose button. Once I see this window, I would be clicking on attach files icon. Now this is a window-based alert and it cannot be handled using Selenium. So I would be using Robot class to type the address here. So I would be attaching this file. So the address would be something like d:\pic, and then I'll be clicking on open, or rather I would be pressing enter key. So let's have a look. So in Eclipse I have already a basic setup is already done there. So I have already coded till attach files icon. So now I can handle it using Robot class. So I'll create a instance of Robot class first. Then on this instance I would call the method key press. Now this key press is basically an event that would press a particular key, and in the key code we would be entering which key needs to be pressed. Like our address was D, the drive was D, so we would be pressing D here. Now that the key has been pressed, we would like to release it. So we can see there is a key release method. Again, we'll provide the key code. So in the same way, we'll do the coding for the rest of the keys. All the keyboard keys, all the keys are available there. So we can see, have a look at all the keys. So I already created this class. So let's see how does it looks after creation. Okay. This is the one. So let's see. I have provided some sleeps here so that we would be able to see it on the screen clearly. We press D key, and then we provide the colon, and then we provide backslash, and then we press and release pick. So let's execute it. So now it would click on compose button. And now it would click on attach icon. It already did. Now it's typing it. So the file is attached. So coming back to the presentation. This was all about window-based pop-ups. That's all from my side. Thank you.